and father, all the time will look out for you no matter what. So his parents and sister managed to watch the game at a house near Augusta, and when her son sank that final putt to seal the win, his mother, with tears in her eyes, said she was struggling to catch her breath, and there were tears streaming down her cheeks, and this is what she said: "I can't believe my son is the Masters champion. It's surreal." It was a dizzying mix of pride and pain. Such is life, and we wish the new Masters champion reconciliation with his family in the soonest possible time.
Is this your internet experience when you want to stream the meeting? And if someone else in your house is trying to download a file at the same time, high delivers faster than fast speeds up to 20 megabits per second, so you can stream game, upload, download, stream game, upload, download faster than fast on multiple devices at the same time.
Don't remove the flash.
I did, yeah. Forgot. Let me just play anything. Bom dia, buenos dias. Welcome to The Connection. My name is Uncle Sam. We start off with a high show, trolling the internet for stories of interest to you and I from across the social, economic, or indeed political spectrum. There was a night of high drama last night that saw Manchester City crash out of the UEFA Champions League by an embarrassing 5-1 aggregate scoreline after going down 2-1 at home at the Etihad Stadium to Liverpool. Meanwhile, in Rome, an even more shocking result was recorded when Roma secured a 3-0 win at home on home soil for a 4-gate score against Barcelona, with Roma going through on away goals rule after in the 4-1 first leg loss in Barcelona, Spain. Right, so these things happen. I think.
Community Viewpoint. Be a part of the community and share your views on issues that affect you.
What else might be? ZCC thing, what do those guys call it? ZCC, they're still responsible. What have we been told that they
end up going to very disastrous from the political range. The introduction of a national flag is good. It's something that is going to help us. Not now, it's not a short-term thing, but it's a long-term thing. Because if at the schools the children are taught, they are growing with that mentality that corruption is not good. Even wherever they grow up, wherever they go, wherever they will be working, they will be better than corruption.
Participate by calling in on 0212-222-877 or text 0965 000 877.
So I want to agree with the panel here that the levels of tribalism in the country have are learning levels, and all of us must know our business. And this is a tripartite responsibility policy. The church needs to come in and play their role as the moral authority, but most importantly ourselves as Zambians, and not just Zambians, but particularly young Zambians.
No, I think it is very unfair to say what is causing immorality among pastors. What we should say is what is causing immorality among people. Because we have political people who are very immoral today. We actually, when you see them in the papers with their pictures clearly open, and I feel that in as much I agree, there's a lot of immorality, not only among pastors. These are the last days. Yes, in the last days, these things will increase, not only in the clergy sector, it's happening amongst Satanists, it's happening amongst businessmen. We are hearing of these things every day.
Community Viewpoint every Wednesday from 10:20 hours to 11:20 hours, only on Flavor FM. Speak out and don't be sidelined.
Views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Flavor FM or its associates.
Good morning and welcome to Community Viewpoint. To present the program, my name is Patience Mwansa Siavana, and on Community Viewpoint, as we are aware, Community Viewpoint airs Wednesday from 10:20 to 11:20 hours, and it talks about issues happening in our communities. And the text line number is 0965000087. Number for WhatsApp messages, directed to text messages. And so on the program today, we are discussing socialism. And we are talking to Socialist Party spokesperson, Father Richard Luwande. Good morning and welcome to the program, Father.
Thank you, Patience. Good morning and good morning, listeners.
You're welcome to Flavor once again.
Thank you so much. It's been long and I'm happy to be here today.
This time under a different umbrella.
Very different umbrella and a genuine one.
Tell us about the newly formed Socialist Party.
The newly formed Socialist Party in Zambia today was founded on the principle of humanity. When you talk about the principle of humanity, you're trying to say a human being, no matter their form or nature, must be respected. And respect can only be seen in the welfare of that given human being. The way they live, the way they are treated, the way they go about their daily lives. And you'll be able to see and say there is what you could term equality in the people and the community that they live in. Therefore, this has escaped many generations of God's creation, in that at the dawn of capitalism, which today seems to be the only ideological thought that a human being can have, has for a long time not done anything good for humanity, apart from draining the resources of those countries that they operate in, and leave a second nation where beings are not are not able to look after each other because their resources have been taken away. And therefore, in socialism, we are trying to say what belongs to us must be shared amongst ourselves equitably. And if, for example, today, patients, you are sick, the hospital that you go to is the hospital I'm supposed to go to as a leader. If for education, the school that you go to, that's the school I would also love to go to as your leader. But look at what is happening in any given capitalist state. Let's look at Africa, especially Zambia, our nation. If today you are a leader and you are sick, you are quickly flown to South Africa for specialist treatment. The same disease will inflict you, you'll be taken to Kitwe Central Hospital. And the ward that you'll be admitted into, you faster, because the conditions in there are not conducive for a patient. Therefore, in short, socialism is a party for the workers, and the workers can organize. So, to ask the question of who owns the Socialist Party, it's owned by the worker. A worker who is a peasant, who is a nurse, who is a doctor, who is a teacher, who is a vendor, a marketeer, and any other person making a living of what they do genuinely. So those are the people who have come together to form this party. For any given organization, you have to have leadership. And when we are leaders, it doesn't mean that we know it all. We are people who are supposed to get information, ideas, and ideals from the grassroots, and then dispense it in the manner that they want it. So it's a party's people.
And who are the leaders that are spearheading?
The People's Party, sorry. The leadership who are heading this, you already know. We have our General Secretary, who is Comrade Cosmas Msumali, doctor. We have, who is also a presidential running mate. We have Comrade Dr. Freddie Membe, a journalist and a guru in the media circles. who is our presidential candidate and Deputy General Secretary. Then you have this person on air today, the Reverend Father Richard Scott Luonde, who is the National Party spokesperson. But this is not the only leadership that we have in the party. Very soon, the General Secretary and his deputy are working on the formulation of the Central Committee in consultation with the provinces. And after that, the Politburo will also come in place, which is above the Central Committee. And as I speak to you now, we have a lot of people working in the backgrounds, like the youths I have here and the mother that I have here. These are coordinators. They are coordinating the works of the Socialist Party on the grassroots. And thereafter, when these things are formalized, they will be announced to the nation. So it's a party belonging to the people and not to individuals.
Not so long ago, you were in the Rainbow Party, and the Rainbow Party is also a socialist party. What's the difference? Why form another socialist party when you were in that party and you decided to move into the other?
That question is a very good question, but I would ask, if you look at the neoliberal capitalists, if you look at the parties that we have in Zambia, they are all pro neoliberal capitalism. If you look at the PF, which on the onset was a socialist-oriented, a people's party, drastically in the short period it has changed to they are similar. The only ideology which is different is that of a socialist, and so it means that even socialists, you can have as many parties as possible, but it's what you stand for which matters.
Mm-hmm. So you have different ideologies from them.
We very different. That's why today we are called the Socialist Party.
Mm-hmm. Maybe let's look at the socialism. What are we currently as a nation? Are we a socialist nation? Are we a capitalist nation?
Our nation today, the only people try to mix up and probably show that Zambia could be socialist in a way through humanism was unique. But on the dawn of multi-party democracy in 1991, what came about was a neoliberal capitalism. We have now what we could term to be pet bourgeoisies who are being used by the capitalists to inflict pain on the Zambian masses. If you look at the time of UNIP and Kaunda, we had what we could call nationalization of companies. We had ZCCM, we had PTC, now Zamtel, we had ZCBC, we had Zambia Railways, name them. And these were companies formed, that Findeco, Indeco, formed to inspire and grow our national economy for the benefit of Zambians. And when multi-party democracy came, most of these firms were privatized, meaning they were sold to investors, the majority who were not Zambians. And as a result, you could see what we are experiencing today. So these investors who came in, they simply came in to reap where they did not sow. What investment can you talk about today to show off that for sure we have copper, we have emeralds, gold, diamonds, and uranium in our nation? Today, cobalt is not spoken about because cobalt at the international market is going about 87 or 83,000 pounds. Why is copper, the commodity known to most Zambians, is selling at the London Metal Exchange at about $7,000 US per ton, and the cobalt is about 83,000 US dollars per ton. To what benefit? Money is transported out of the country day in, day out, to the downfall of our national economy. So you could see that neoliberal capitalism, in as much as people could say socialism has not worked, I beg to differ. Because the only experience that we have as Zambians and in majority African countries is the capitalist thought. a capitalist thought in that if you look at where we're coming from, Zambia as a nation was colonized by Britain, which is a capitalist state. And we have not gotten out of that. We tried to get out of it when we won our independence in 1964, the 24th of October. But on the way, because of being surrounded by colonial masters also in countries like Namibia, Rhodesia, that is Southern Rhodesia, Angola, Mozambique, and South Africa and Namibia, you could see that we had an influx of refugees into our nation. And Tazara.
So in short, you're saying we're better off like we were in the unique days?
Very much better off.
And you would want us to go back to those?
Those are the indicators of how, if socialism is taken seriously, Zambia could develop and be a nation that everyone within and outside would speak about as a prosperous nation.
But what's so good about the unique days when we were crying for democracy? Can democracy thrive in a socialist state?
Very much so.
How?
Very much so. Democracy, if you look at our socialist party constitution and manifesto, they're talking about the freedoms of people. Because where you allow workers in any given field to control and bring up their own ideas in terms of how they would want to operate and develop, then you see a sustainable nation. That is democracy. But if you look at the Zambian worker today, what benefits are they getting from these petty bourgeoisies? They're literally getting nothing. Whatever you want to get is determined by them. Those who do the work are simply there to work and listen to what their master is saying. But in socialism, socialism is saying, for us, we will listen from what the worker would want to have. And if that is sustainable, together we implement it. So at the end of the day, there will be no one to blame to say, this has happened because the decision was made and was an isolated decision.
And the like.
And today, I'll just want that the poverty levels in Western Province, the poverty levels are 82.2%. That is in the Western Province. In Luapula Province, where you and me come from, the poverty levels are 81.1%. In Northern Province, our neighbor, the poverty levels are 79.7%. In Eastern Province, 70%. In Muchinga Province, 69.3%. And in Northwestern Province, 66.4%. An overall percentage of 76.6% of people who cannot put food on their table maybe in 2 or 3 days. And how do these people send their younger children to school? That means you are having a collapsing nationalism where everyone is regarded as a human being. The ideas, whether they've been to school or not, must be listened to. So that as you move on, as we evolve, we are able to put and bring those ideas together and move our nation forward. This is capitalism. Now, if I asked, where in the world has socialism ever failed to such levels that we are experiencing in our nation today? And
have really made it, socialist nations that have made it.
Socialism is just what I could call the beginning of things that to come. Socialism has to at one time culminate and end up in communism. I'll give you an example of Cuba. Cuba today has a reserve of everything. It's the only country which had been sending its engineers and doctors to other countries in need without those countries paying them their emoluments and whatever allowances, but paid by the Cuban government itself.
But is Cuba entirely socialist, or it has some aspects of communism as well?
It has some aspects of communism. That's where socialism leads to. You grow from socialism into capital, into communism. So That's an example. Or any other capitalist country sent its trained staff to come and work for free and be paid by their sending country.
What guarantee is there that when Zambia is turned into a socialist nation, we entirely a socialist nation, the economy will thrive? Because when we look at most countries, there are no countries that you can point out and say this nation is entirely a socialist nation. It's a mixed economy.
It's a mixed economy controlled by the masses. That's socialism. A mixed economy. If you come to invest, for example, in Kitwe, you want to invest in KCN, before you do your investment, you have to sit down with the people that you are going to work with in terms of labor and in terms of a capital supply. So when you come, you'll be able to ask and value the worker to what you are going to invest. That's how a socialist operates. Now, if you come into Zambia, put up an investment today, it's you, the investor, to determine what you want and how much you are going to pay the people that you are going to employ. The socialist is saying we can't do that because the production begins with the worker. What you get at the end of the day is the profit. The person who has made that profit, meanwhile, suffers. We are seeing in Zambia today has simply come to kill us so that probably those people can come and fill our land, which a socialist will say no to. We have to sit down and work out things together so that we move together. Look at the peasant farmer. Your father, my father, having been a teacher, at one time retired, went into peasant farming. What have they achieved? Because the peasant farmer, through discussions and sharing of ideas, is supposed to migrate zero. They bring the e-voucher simply to blind the farmer, get their fertilizer at 400 kwacha per bag and so on, which at the end of the day, they are not even paid back. So, perennial suffering of the peasant farmer has been there since independence. Very few has become a commercial farmer. The commercial farmers you have are imported. Those sent away from Zimbabwe come to Zambia. Now, South Africa is saying if Zambians get back their land, come to South Africa. So you could see, how do you develop as a nation? How do you develop as a nation? You can only develop if you begin to come up with ideas which will suit you and suit your nation according to the environment.
You're listening to Community Viewpoint, and on the program today we are talking to newly launched Socialist Party spokesperson, Father Richard Luonde, and we are discussing socialism. Can it work for Zambia? And you can send your text messages to 09650000877, 09650000877. For your calls, you can call on 0212-222-877, 0212-222-877. You have clearly indicated that 2021 you're standing and your candidate is Mr. Fred Membe and his running mate Mr. Cosmas Musumani. In 2021, where do you start from? Because we're moving from a mixed economy and we're heading into socialism. Where do we start from? Do we nationalize all the mines? Do we nationalize all the industries that were privatized earlier?
You spoke well when you said it will be a mixed economy. You see, when you promote when you promote entrepreneurship, you are simply saying you are empowering your locals to also invest in their nation. If you look at today's newspapers, probably in the mast, there is a place in Matero where those that socialism is teaching, the Socialist Party is teaching, on how they stand the socialism ideology is unpicked, some detained. From the beginning, when this party was formed in November 2016, our emphasis was on education. We don't simply want to take people on board through Ichimwela. No. We want to take people on board fully understanding what they are going into. That means we have grassroots classes where whether you've been to school or not, you'll be taught on what socialism is and what it stands for. It's from there that you begin to move and expose your plans that you have for your nation. So you could see, even at our launch, people were surprised. Where did those people come from? Those are the people who have been tutored, who have been taught on what they should be and what is expected from them as socialists.
Okay, so we start from education.
Exactly.
Okay.
We tell the people what the ideologies of the Marxists and the Angel ideologies of socialism stand for.
Whilst we are still maintaining our capitalist and type of governance. Because when we say...
I'll give an example of China. China and North Korea, they have what we could call a mixed economy, but centered on the worker. The people you are seeing here today is because China had tutored them to what they should be in their country, hence the development. Because socialism is an aspect of life. An aspect of life in that you cannot do without the other person. You're getting me?
Yes.
You cannot do without the other person. So if you cannot do without the other person, that other person must be appreciated in the manner that you yourself appreciate yourself. Hence the concept of CHEP that we stand for. That is justice, equity, and peace. Because if I disregard you as my worker, that means I'm also disregarding myself. I should not take advantage of you just because you're working for me. At the end of the day, enslave you indirectly and make you suffer whilst I make huge profits. Today, you would see people come out of the mines with the tuberculosis. They are taken to the hospital, given 5 years to be attending a given mine hospital. At the end of the day, those people end up dying. What precautionary measures were taken before employing them and after employing them? So you could see a socialist who always take those things into consideration. And at the end of the day, you'll be a happy person. And by being a happy person, you'll be a peaceful person.
So you are not going to entirely be a socialist nation, but mixed economy.
Mixed economy, suiting the worker. Because if you have workers, and workers, for example, let's take the Black Mountain here. We have our Zambian youths also, who are simply told to say, the Black Mountain is yours. Now we talk about the Black Mountain being theirs. What tools, safer tools, are they going to use to begin dismantling the Black Mountain? You're simply sending the youths to their deaths. Because they are not taught, they are not supported. For the empowerment of the youths with the Black Mountain, there should be training and support from the government.
So then what happens to...
Let me finish. When you give them that support, that means you give them the training which will be a training, but today you simply throw them to that dump and forget about it. A socialist will ask for ideas and the ideals of how they would want to utilize that mine, that dump. Once that is done, then they'll be assisted. They'll be empowered. So it means that when they begin to make profits, those profits will attract taxes also. It will attract taxes, and those people that they'll be using will be paid salaries that will keep and sustain their families. Not simply saying do this and you forget about it. So the workers, but when you talk about the workers part, you are saying the workers must determine of what they want to be. So that is investment.
So they will be consulted first.
Yes, that is investment, and that investment will be conducive. But where workers are happy, they become peaceful also. Here where you work at your studio, I don't know if at one given time you put across your demands to say we want a 20% salary increase. You present your case, but before you present your case in a socialist atmosphere, you have to sit with your management. Your management has to tell you the difficulties that it's going through, and you have to tell your management the difficulties that you are going through as a worker. And as a result, you strike a balance.
But isn't that happening currently through the...
When you ask for 20%, you'll be given 1%. If you don't want, you'll be dismissed. Are you sure that that is the only value that could be given to the 1%? Can they adjust it through you sitting down with them and saying, but we are making such profits. If you gave us a 10% or a 15%, are you not going to make a profit at the end of the day? They will check you out. But in a socialist country, nation, you yourselves determine of how you want to go. Today, do you know how much they make or give out to the running of the hospitals? You don't know. We don't know. To education, you don't know. We don't know. Sick. You'll be taken to Kitwe Central Hospital. I'll fall sick. I'll be taken to Kitwe Central Hospital. The same illness, a minister, a DC, a mayor will fall sick. They will be flown to South Africa or India. Why is it so? Why can't we make our own nation have those facilities? We don't do that because Zambians are not consulted.
So you talked about, I asked the question, are we going to nationalize, let's say for example the mines, because those I know are our resources. Are we going to nationalize them under Socialist Party?
That will depend on how profitable these organizations are. And again, depending on the kind of investors that you have. Because nationalization is not compulsory. It will not just come because we are a socialist party and we have formed government. We are going to work side by side with investors, but listening to the Zambian worker.
And private companies that have already been privatized, let's say for example, in industries that have been privatized.
Those will be given a way to prove their worth. Because it's not a matter of privatization. It's what you're doing for the people that you have come to invest into. You don't simply come and invest and reap so enormous profits at the expense of the country that you have invested in. So there will be what we could call a proper outlined ways of functioning under the socialist ideals by these investors. It's not a matter of coming and determining what you want to do. There should be some form of control. Of course, those that will be failing. For example, today, I'll give an example. KCM Chingola. It does not exist. An investor comes, after making so much profits, that investor resells the same investment to America and do that. Donald Trump today is saying America first. Why is he saying that? He wants the people of America to live a better life than those who are simply coming to make money from America.
And US is capitalist.
It is capitalist, but those technologies that they are using are socialist ideologies. Why you want to save your people first than any other person. KCM today is a closed mind if you went there. It's a closed mind. But do you know that? You don't. Because now the investors have simply taken out the running of our companies in Zambia without even having the courtesy of consulting our government. So that should come to an end under socialism. Zambia is for Zambians, and Zambians must determine what they want to have in their nation.
Very quickly, before we invite our callers, your stance on religion.
On the region, let's just... You read that.
Okay. Marx's view of religion.
Mm-hmm.
Though religion was quite active in almost all periods of European history, it was super active during the Middle Ages. Marx, Engels, and Lenin held that religion must be treated as a private affair, and state must not have any role in religious matter. The state should not interfere with the religious beliefs of individuals. It should not be the business of states to encourage or discourage any religious belief. There shall be no provision of subsidy in any form to religious institutions such as church or ecclesiastical organization. The citizens shall enjoy full freedom to form or join associations according to their own belief or faith.
So that means we believe in religion. Now religion has been misused. Today in Zambia, we are a Christian nation, believers in Christ and our God and Creator and the power of the Holy Spirit. But through that, people are being enslaved. People are being stolen from. And in socialism, we are saying the religion, in as much as it is there, must be respected. To do all sorts of things. As Christians, we are supposed to move and do that is which is right for you and the other person, for me and the other person. So we cannot hide.
You're going to scrape off the Christian nation clothes and stick to the clothes that I've just read?
No. What it says here, Zambia being a Christian nation, that's a preamble in our constitution also. The truth of the matter is, if not 90% of Zambians are Christians, but we will not take advantage of other religions, but make sure they operate in the same vein as Christianity operates in the nation. But there should be measures to control the kind of religions that are practiced in our nation. Well, some are evil, and that control will be there. But we should not sink our fingers and hands into that and say this is what it's supposed to be.
Okay. So when you say that control, some are evil, how are you going to tell that this faith is evil or not? When you have said according that you're going to allow citizens to enjoy their full freedom to form or join associations according to their own belief or faith.
That's what the current constitution says. In as much as Zambia is a Christian nation, but other faiths are also allowed to practice their faiths freely. Practice the same language.
Okay.
So there's no difference. The only difference is that we are not going to use Christianity to manipulate others.
But you will still maintain Zambia as a Christian nation?
Yes, Zambia will always remain a Christian nation.
And on the issue of homosexuality, I know this thing has been going around, and what's your stance as
homosexuality is a norm against any given genuine religion. Homosexuality is not accepted in Hinduism. Homosexuality is not accepted in Buddhism. Homosexuality is not accepted in Islam. Homosexuality is not accepted in Christianity. When God creates a woman and a man, He had a purpose for that creation. It means that that man and that woman must interact. And it's through the interaction of a man and a woman that you and me are here today. If our forefathers and mothers practiced homosexuality, we could not be here. So automatically it tells you that homosexuality is evil.
And then there's this issue of human rights, homosexuality is a right and the like.
That is a foreign concept. It's not Zambian.
So the party is against homosexuality and
Very
it will
much
not
so.
be introduced.
It will not. Why?
Under the party.
If that was introduced in our party, I will quit. Because I'm a believer in what I profess as a person, a child of God, created by God through Christ. So, homosexuality, if all religions say no, who are we to say it is the right thing? Whether they have billions of kwacha or dollars, that will not be acceptable because that is evil, abominable, and it cannot be accepted. So, to say that this party is going to promote homosexuality is a fear that people have because we have come with a bang.
You are listening to Community Viewpoint, and on the program we're talking to Socialist Party spokesperson, Father Richard Luande, and we are talking socialism, can it work in Zambia? Our phone lines are now open. You are free to call us, and you can call us on the number 0212222877. 0212222877. For your text messages, 0965 00877. Hello?
Hello, madam.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
We are fine.
Okay, your name and where you are calling from?
Jim Peck going from Russia.
Okay, you can go ahead with a comment or contribution. Please reduce the volume.
I'm far out from the radio, right?
Okay, you can go ahead.
Now, Father.
Yes, you
Hello?
can, we can get you.
Okay. Okay, in fact, I've heard you that you have explained, and I've come to understand that the way you intend to run this government, like from the word go, where we started by saying the way things are going, whereby you feel like you also to have a money about Nalwala, one money hospital, but whatever content nobody was told of much today. But you want at least in your Malaysian power, at the other way about school of Paranta. I'm hospital, it's more honest that you wanted to have to move. That's a very good move. Because the other and I have a what to become Ghana, I have South Africa, and I have 5 PH. The other and I have a Bunoya, I sitting about. So that is one point I've given you. Now, being, myself as a person who lives in my mind, for instance, in I need to one shop. Now, how we are going to come and land in our mind? Oh, because, okay, from the way we go, the PF government has said they are running out from the mines, then they are going to agriculture. So the previous things, the whole things have been signed. One of the agriculture part is like food party, they introduced the money voucher, which did not work well. One centralized the distribution was poor. Too much of that what our mind is already great, but I'm not Chinese food travel like one show. They are taking for day after day. I'm not trying to now, appreciate the booty of Boko Ratia because how much they are benefiting it before. And looking at the, how much they are paying, I'm a guy that are going to run our money. That's my first question. The second question, what? I think that's my take.
Thank you very much. 0212 222 0212 222 Hello? Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello, you're through to Flavor FM. Okay, you can try again. 0212 222 0212 222 Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm November patient.
Mr. November, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
You can go ahead with your
Where are we going to survive from? Which are Zambia, where Kumushi, overland, and our foreigners are taking our land. Abantu kubatebera amanganda, and the PF government, they are just quiet. These are showing that really they are confused. They have got no direction where to go now so that they can lead our country. So coming windshow, let's be together, we work together. See, actually we have to change this country. People have been cheated by PF government. In the mind, and you have a that we are giving you land. And then foreigners, today I had to apply, so you fail to understand this government. Here I look at taxes, we reduce taxes, they look at the have to pay tax. Give a Kakananda Kakwati Shamara 500 per month better tax. This is the government that has punished us than unity. Ambina MMD Awama Konayo. They look to know at this area because people are suffering in this country. Here, but the government is quiet without seeing that the people of this country are suffering. So, very sure, good luck otherwise in my case to you.
0212 222 For your text messages, you can send those to 0965000877. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Alex.
I'm fine, thank you. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm change your mind today.
I'm Kwayabashimapa.
I you from the chat.
Mwashukeni bashimapalo.
Chakubalira ko yepo bakiranga batata balube mpanje ekyo n'abengi baleetera register ma political parties maybe n'abamunadi ba PF n'abafirwa basinya geni nde kyakiriza omusaala muyaku kitakana ama political parties. I know it's a Democrat Party. We are facing the same Democrats. The reason why I like if you are far that move a socialist, Abakabimba, socialist, no one never win Kabimba. Now, if you come up with another party which talk about the socialist, means kama bomberinge vya kiranda mambe to bombe de famo. Mwagura Bakabimba, Michael Banch, Mwalansha, Yakuba, Chirishan. So for me, what I'm saying, the politicians, what they want is just position. They don't look about the people who are suffering down there. If you come to the community, yes, people now they are suffering. But you, the politician, you don't help us because you don't tell the PM what PM money is. Okay, I think we need to look on that issue again because when we talk about change, like I always talk about the change mindset. The mindset of Zambian people, I think we need to change also because we don't support each other. What is the so we need to look at what the problem we after getting independent, we should not start against the party. So, if we have to look at the party future, otherwise, you may have to start against the political parties in Aena, in Bonaposi, Yala, Tona, with a Popestana, Chinuchal. The next problem again, I don't know if we want to support Dani. Ngatature support the Pema Zambia. I'm a foreigner that not yet last time when I advised the government, they need to change some of the policies here for that. Foreign eyes after a Pero Muchinshi, Zambiani, and our party. It's a Garichishana.
Hello?
And then they use there's something in this one. And then I touch Chibula, Bambu Chibovia, the people gave me
Hello, Bashumapan. Hello. Hello. Kwa inafi umfika turefa tueleke kwa na wabi bachi kwa contribute. I will allow you to respond.
I think I will start with Bashmapalo. Na totra sana la change mindset. Ine change mindset eyalenga ukutila inenga father luonde yonse ndeba kulubali lwabalanda. Ilo twale kumana mu PF nga mwabelenga manifesto yabo, it was a pro poor party, and that's why when President Michael Chilufya-Sata ascended to power in 2011, mwali mona ifashide tampo kuchitika, may he so rest in peace. Ndazambe afunguluko kwati kwena echalo ifo chifuile chaba. No mbayo tulera wolese fyaba, his life was taken away, recorded by God who sent him to this world, and things changed. Other forces came in, those that we had rejected, and I don't want to dwell much on that. And as a result, I moved on. You talk about the Rainbow Party and the Socialist Party being the same parties. In the beginning I said we are not the same parties. That's why we parted company. What we stand for is not the same thing that the Rainbow Party stands for. We are a party trying to promote the welfare of the Zambian worker. A Zambian worker who is a pirater, a minibus driver, a restaurant owner, all sorts of people, as long as they are trying to make a life of what they are doing genuinely. These are the people who are supposed to determine the future of Zambia. So, this political party is coming to November. Of course, it's an indicator that what is happening in the nation today is not right. And these people, as long as they remain pet bourgeoisies, they will not change because they are controlled by other people who are not part of our land and part of our... All their are interested in are profits. Therefore, when we come up with this party, we are not saying we are those that are you're 20 years old. Palikobot. Banda palikopa pantukopa ya chipa. Tawala ndapo. Pantubali tufimbo bula ngeti. Ububula ngeti. Evo socialist party therefore kufimbula pamenso ya bantu nokubala ngeti. Kama tumye kusolwezi northwestern province. Owners of the land were moved to a certain area that they are going to provide medical facilities, schools, and better roads. Today, those things have not been done. People are walking kilometers to go and be attended to at hospitals. People are walking kilometers to go to school. Kutuma asambili la shani, ito kuchara umye nulebe kwa. Ifi, eto tulefu ayo kukanyaba, Jubek. Ayama mai agriculture wale tama i-voucher. I-voucher, nibanga wasambili shefi yaku ya mwfi. Mwakututa dile pa utashile mpia shabu. Baashi mwmfia valia. Nga valia, pound money shumuntu. Umwana, bali msalakuwa ku university afiko kuya, pauti mpia vali shona.
We have text messages. This one is from Bobo Kamito, and he says, no, socialism is old-fashioned because you can't own the property of your own. And Father Luanda, you have not answered the question on property ownership. Why? And the next one says, NFCA awarded their workers 6%. This is what capitalism can do. And that's a message from Evaristo Chikuka. Let's make a call. Hello? Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, thank you. Your name and where you're calling from?
I am Jason Short calling from Langile.
Okay, you can go ahead with your comment or contribution.
I just wanted to ask.
Okay. That is all?
That's all.
Okay, he will respond. Thank you. 0212 222-877, 0212-222-877. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, thank you. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling, just getting down.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Good morning, my dear.
I thank you. Socialist party. What other groups that we are talking about diversifying from copper to agriculture are
0212-222-877, 0212-222-877. For your text messages, 0965000877. We'll take two last calls. Hello?
so let's hope the government to deliver to the people because now bashala kuna 3 years nyingi sana epo na chukua kuputukisha ukabati sasa na concentrate kuma kugolechilenga tule tutamata so let's advise the government to deliver to the people what they promised. Thank you.
0212-222-877, 0212-222-877. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, thank you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, this is Captain Morgan calling within town.
Yes, Morgan.
I think I just have one comment to give to your father. I think what socialist party, whatever, but to be honest with you, these clergymen that we've got in government, you people, you're supposed to be talking about helping out people, but you are the same people that so ginger that were more Ponama clergymen, but so ginger, they become politicians. They change their colors. They are like more chameleons. But ginger was they become something else. So you clergymen, whatever you're saying, into you can tabulate a lot of things, but so this time it's too much for us Zambians. In fact, 95% of Zambians are saying that's better than what the next president because of these people moving sometimes. What do you want? One party. nga mwakijja mwanzeera okwo kukikwamwa because tuli mwayimanyi nga mwayikalika abantu bangi nga people sitting down ababinywa kadeeka bakiragi no that's why bali kuntanki mweba byakiteeso with due respect muli tulandirako don't switch camps like that but muli tulandirako mwaimanya wokinga mwalanda ekinga mwabe babakateeka mwabe abantu no people bayekyula best do A plus B to better up life y'abantu nomba not twikala petulekitafe from NFM out here point but I've got a lot to talk about.
Thank you.
From Kitwe, you are right to say, like clergy, we don't help in resolving issues concerning governance of our nation. I'll dilute it by saying not all the clergy are found wanting in terms of advising the leadership. The problem that we have, if you remember in 2011, me and Frank Boalia were simply advocates in terms of gathering people for the PF. We never joined PF. And I never joined. When they formed government, instead of listening to us who had understood what their manifesto for, they gathered. Today, I don't even understand what led to my suspension.
So why did you differ with Winter?
I never differed with Winter. It's him who differed in his own thoughts with me. I never differed with him. So, because I'm a socialist, I think what I stand for, as Morgan said, what is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. I'll never run for money. If today I wanted, I could simply announce myself and say I'm joining PF, and I'll be received warmly because I suffered for the people. But is that what I want? No. What I want is to save the people and make sure that people at least live a better life where they could have a cup of tea in the morning, a porridge in the morning with groundnuts, mixed with groundnuts, lunch, and proper balanced dinner. That's the life that I want Zambians to live, and they are able to go to hospitals and be treated and welcomed as human beings. Coming to Collins, yes, agriculture is very, very important. That's why, if you listen to what my beginning remarks were, I said, why should peasant farmers in the villages have percentages of poverty levels up to 76.6%? Why is it that people in the villages cannot grow their own food to sustain them, sell the product, the extras, and be able to send their children to school and buy food? This is all because they are not cared for. So, as a socialist party, we will make sure that peasant farmers are the poorest. They are the poorest because the government today has no proper policies for them. The Socialist Party has proper policies which will make a peasant farmer migrate from being peasant to a commercial farmer who is able to send their child to school, even buy a plane where possible, even buy better vehicles, even build mansions. From 1964 to today, show me a peasant farmer who has built a mansion or graduated his or her children. There are very few. These are the policies that we are going to make sure that a peasant farmer today and tomorrow begins to live a better life. And Bashima Palo, PF, you are there with me. We were born in Italy. I wasn't a member, but an advocate for the PF, supported the PF because what?
Sympathizer.
Yes, I was. So, in that sympathy, I knew that PF would do something for the people of Zambia, and I can rest assure you, if the late President Michael Stufasata was alive today, Zambia would be a better place to live in. This I can rest assure you.
Bobo Kaunda talked about socialism being old-fashioned. He talked about you can't own property of your own. Under which
background was Bob Kaunda born? He was born under capitalism. Maybe he was born after 1980. He didn't even see what Dr. Kaunda and his friends did for Zambia today. Him is not old-fashioned.